Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Cherry berry berry bim bam. Bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As I was saying, no, just kidding. It's so nice to see all of you here in the sanctuary at 5200 Old Mill Road, and those of you who are joining us on Zoom from all sorts of places, at least 3 states by my count. And we are all here together as one holy community. And what a week it's been, huh? So we were just here a little more than 24, I guess 48 hours ago for Yom Kippur. And in between Yom Kippur was a very special day. Actually, it's a day on the Jewish calendar that isn't printed on the Jewish calendar that's out there in the lobby. Yesterday is a day that is known by a couple of different names. I've heard it called Yom HaKaput. I have also heard it called Yom HaPajamas. And I have a colleague who refers to it as Yom Lashev Basofa, the day for sitting on the couch. It's not on the calendar out there. And that is the day after Yom Kippur. And I can assure you that many Jewish professionals all over the country, probably all over the world, were doing some version of that. And I imagine you were too, after 25 hours of fasting and all of the beautiful things that we do on Yom Kippur that are beautiful, but also take a lot out of us. And here we are for Shabbat just when we need it. I'd like to invite you to take a moment. Think about something that you discovered, something that you experienced on this week during the high holy days that you're taking with you just a little while longer. Something that came up for you this week. If that was a moment of beauty or of insight or of exquisite sadness when you realize something really important, may you carry that with you into Shabbat. If it was something that was unpleasant or uncomfortable, I'm not going to say take yourself off the hook, but what I will say is set it aside and it'll be there waiting for you after Shabbat if it is still important. And I'm going to invite John Tam to the Bima, and we will continue our journey into Shabbos with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, which you'll find the blessing for lighting Shabbat candles on page 120. Light and bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, John. And while you're standing here, I'm going to say thank you in front of all of these people for everything that you have done for this rabbi and this community to help us during the high holy days. Thank you, sweetie. Let us continue our service on page 127. Page 127, and let us read together responsively. I'll begin. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. Let us continue on page 131, and we're going to sing the words of Psalm 96. We often know that as Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash, and so we'll sing here using a tune from Julie Silver, which we have done here before. The Hebrew words are here. I promise. The English words not so much, but we're learning this, and it'll be beautiful. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Okay, we will continue on page 138. Page 138. All right, so you guys get to make a choice tonight. It's a small group. I'm still a tad slap happy from Yom Kippur. So we have a choice. We have a choice with Lecha Dodi, and those of us in the room get to vote. I'm sorry, folks at home, but what we're going to do is I'm going to offer you two tunes, and the one that has the most hands is the tune that we're going to do. Okay. Option one. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nikabela lecha dodi. Okay, that's tune number one. Here's tune number two. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 penei Shabbat nikabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. That's number two. So option number one, show your hands. Option number two, show your hands. Oh, it's really close. We'll go with two. All right. Thank you for playing. We are now going to, on page 138, we are going to offer the liturgical poem called a piyut, Lecha Dodi, where we express our joy at returning to Shabbat, the way it is when we return to someone who we love. Oh, and we're going to do verses 1, 5, and 9, and you know what happens at the 9th verse. And if you don't, you'll figure it out. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 penei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi likra kala yalala 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 penei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Ishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet ve'lithilah lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah. Hitoreri, Iva ore kumi ori, uri, shidaberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah. Lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzola toch emunei am segula boi kala lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah. Lecha dodi likra kala yalalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nikabelah. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Take a moment and say hello to somebody, maybe somebody you haven't seen or met before. And take a Iris, I should see you like running all over the room here. Just kidding. And say hello to everyone at home. All right, we are one holy community here together on this Shabbat night. You can be seated, and we are going to continue our service on page 140. Page 140, and we're going to sing the words of Psalm 92, beginning actually with the second half of the psalm that starts Tzadik Katamar, and we're going to we'll sing a tune that Hazimir has sung, so I know at least one person in here knows it. And that we also, when we get together and pray on Saturday mornings in the chapel, we sing this tune there as well. So Psalm 92, page 140. Sing along if you can. Tzadikata yifrach ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shetulim bebeit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva deshenim vera'anim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo. The righteous bloom like a date tree. They thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in the courts of our God. In old age, they still produce fruit. They are full of sap and freshness, attesting that Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no wrong. What I love about this psalm is it makes a comparison. It is a metaphor between those who live a righteous, a good life, doing things the way that maybe when we're being our best selves, that we're doing it that way, that they are like a date palm, this beautiful tree that brought fruit to a place where, it's pretty arid. It's not an easy place to grow things. And dates, have you ever had a date? It's so sweet. And so living a righteous life is like being this very, very special tree that provides sweetness. And anyway, it's just a beautiful, beautiful metaphor. I love this song. We'll continue on page 142. Let us sing together the words of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchoni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tetechem l'shalom, Malachei, Malachei. Let us rise as we are able for Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'omad yivracheh ve'amlik malchuteh, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dekol beit Yisrael, bagala, uvizman karif imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam u'be'almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpar v'yitnoram v'yitnaseh, v'yithada v'yithaleh v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imeru. Amen. We continue on the next page. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach leolam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach leolam va'ed. You may be seated. Let us read together on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Amariv Aravim. We will continue on page 150 with the words of Ahavat Olam. And tonight we will sing this prayer using the music of Debbie Friedman. Ahavat Olam, Beit Israel, Amcha Ahavta, Amcha Ahavta, Torah umitzvot, chukim umishpatim, Otanu limadata, Otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu beshochbenu, ufumenu na'asiach bechuchecha, venismach bedivrei Toratecha, umitzvotecha leolam vaed. Ki hem kachayenu, ve'orek yameinu, uvahem nege yomam ve'layla, nege yomam ve'layla, ve'ahavcha al tasir, mimenu leolamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel, Ohev Amo Israel. Let us turn the page. Please rise for Shema. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. May be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitztavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam Beshivtecha bevetecha uvlektecha baderech uveshokbecha uvekumecha ukshartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot beinecha uchtavtam hamuzuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'azitem et kol mitzvotai V'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem emet. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Let's turn to page 158. Have you ever had a time when you were very grateful to leave something behind? Whatever that time is, multiply the intensity of that, maybe by 10, maybe by 100, I don't know, 1,000. And imagine the Israelites escaping from slavery in Egypt with an army pursuing them. And they have no choice but to step into the water. I can't imagine what the first couple of people might have thought. The water opens, the Israelites cross, and when they set foot on the other side of the sea, this is the song they sing. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, malchutcha ra'u v'necha. Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Zeli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimlo leolam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Let's turn to page 160, the next page. And actually, we're going to be on page 161 on the bottom. We're going to read together in just a moment. But tonight, when I got here, I took a look in the backyard of the temple. And there's something there that wasn't there before Yom Kippur. What do you think might be behind the temple that wasn't there before Yom Kippur? Any guesses? A sukkah, yeah. So we have a sukkah, and it's just like, just a sukkah, because it's not yet been customized for this particular year. Sunday night, when the sun goes down, we will be beginning the beautiful 8-day holiday of Sukkot, often referred to in our tradition as Moedim L'Simcha, the time of our joy. And we, I don't want to steal too much from next week because we'll be together next week for Sukkot, but that shelter that we dwell in during the 8-day festival of Sukkot, I think about that when I think about Hashkivenu. Now we can sing Hashkivenu any Shabbat of the year. It isn't just when we're about to go into Sukkot, when we literally have an image of a shelter, but the shelter of peace, the shelter of Shalom, Sukkat Shalom, that we offer in blessing to God for God's protection of us. It is a spiritual version of that very simple structure that the Israelites dwelled in as they made their journey across the desert, and that we will have a chance to dwell in next week. Let us read together on the bottom of page 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkat Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Israel, ve'al Yerushalayim. Let us turn now to page 164 And in just a moment, we will begin to pray the Amida, the prayer where we bless and bless and bless and bless for minutes. And before we do that, I would like you to take a moment, I'll do it myself too, to find something from your own existence that you want to bless tonight. Hold on to that blessing and let the words on the page of our traditional blessings wrap around that. We will pray the Amida beginning on page 164 and continuing on the even pages to page 170. Please rise as you're able. Adonai, Sfatai Tiftach. Ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai. Sfatai tiftach. Ufi agi. Ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai. Adonai. Sfatai tiftach. Ufi agi. Ufi agit tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Kol Mel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevei Gula Livnei V'Nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Morid hatal, Mechalchel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofech olim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha bal gevurot umidomela melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman anta l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue praying silently. Let us continue on page 180. Today I was doing a little software configuration. You know how sometimes when you end up working on something on a computer and you end up disappearing into a black hole of either you don't know what you're doing or you mess something up, or we've all been there. And so I ended up needing to send a support email asking for help. And it just so turns out that the company that makes this software is based in the Ukraine. And about so in addition to being in the middle of a horrible war, there are many hours ahead of us. And I got an email about 20 minutes after I submitted my question, and they gave me the information that I needed, and it was signed Anastasia from Kyiv. And I was like, wow, she was answering my question. She's doing her job. She's working. Life is, perhaps, I don't know what her life's like at all, but she's in Kyiv, probably safer than other places in the Ukraine. But nonetheless, she's living in a country that is in the midst of a war that's getting scarier and scarier by the week. And I thought of Words of Shalom, because it was Friday and I was getting ready to come here. And so I think more than ever, it's so important that we keep in mind that there are real individual people in the midst of all of this. And let us offer this prayer for peace for each of them. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Israel, ve'imru amen. Uyase shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel, and ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, for all who inhabit the earth. Let's turn to page 371. In a moment together, we will offer a Misha Barak for healing. And to prepare for that, I will read our community's Misha Barak list, the names of those for whom we are praying as a community for healing. And then I'll pause and invite you to share the names of those for whom you are praying. On this Shabbat, we pray for the healing of Fran Adler, Ruth Bloom, Andrew Bosell, Pirka Batbracha, Adrienne Braitman, Roberta Butts, Todd Craigo, Joanne McCrory, Kaylin Nagel, Tom O'Neill, Jackie Schreier, Debbie Charay, Gary Smythe. And we are also praying for these names and the names in our hearts. Let us offer the Misha Barak for healing. Misha Barak avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. On this Shabbat following Yom Kippur, I'd like to offer this poem written by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt, who is also known on the on the internet as the Velveteen Rabbi. Get it? The Velveteen Rabbi, not rabbit. And she posts some really, really wonderful, wonderful essays and sermons and poems. And if you're looking for something special and Jewy to read on the internet, I'd encourage you to look it up, the Velveteen Rabbi. And here is a poem that seems to apply to this moment in the year, after the festival. After the festival, the laundry. After the festival, exhaustion and punch-drunk laughter. Collapsing into the armchair and absently petting the cat. After the festival, silence rings. There's so much to do, building and repair, a new name for God, making all our promises real. But not today. Today, gratitude for the washing machine, swirling my Yom Kippur whites clean. And I'm going to share a comment that someone wrote to this poem, because it was just, well, I'm going to share it. Someone wrote after reading this poem, I woke up feeling a sad lull after the festival. In the sanctuary among community, in my heart, God, the world was perfect. Now what? Back to puny self with all my oversized needs and wants and dissatisfactions, foregone conclusions that I will revert, not return. May God be with us in peak experiences. Maybe you had one this week or the week before. And may God be with us in not so special, yet life-filled moments, like most of the time. Moadim Simcha, the days of joy, will continue very soon with the arrival of Sukkot. Next week, I'll say Moadim LaSimcha, but tonight I'll say Shabbat Shalom. Are you ready, Sam Katinsky? This is now a very special moment. We're going to invite Sam Katinsky to the Bima, and he has some announcements to share with us. You got it.
Good evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. I'd like to highlight a few announcements. Please join us again tomorrow morning for Shabbat services here at 9:45 a.m. Ordering is now live for our 20th corned beef sale. You can pick up an order form at the temple or order and pay online at www.templecav.org. Our next Joy Vey a Kiddush Shabbat will be October 14 at 5:30 p.m. in the Resource Center. I'd like to offer some thank yous to our security officer, Julie, who's here tonight, and Don Zellman for ushering, and Samara Sheree for helping me run Zoom, as well as John Tam and Beth Swag for making tonight's challah. Make sure you check the temple website, your weekly communications, or Facebook page for more information. Thank you.
Before you go anywhere, but just stand.
Oh, no.
No, wait. So take a look out there. How's it feel up here? You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. That's it. Thanks. Have a seat. So Eli and Riley, did you get that? Next Friday night, Joy Vey. All right. Okay. So where are we? All right. Our service will continue on page 586. Please rise as you are able for Elenu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, late kedula leyotze breshit, shelo asanu kegoe haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anaknu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Let us turn to page 598, 598. We have come to the time when we remember those who are no longer with us, those who have died either recently or in this season in years past. I'll read our community's Kaddish list and then invite you to share the names of anyone you are remembering tonight so that we can join our memories with yours. On this Shabbat, we continue the period of Shloshim, the death within the past 30 days of Adolf Breitman and Yelena Drozdova. And we continue the period of Shana, the death within the past year of Vicky Sowers, Jennifer Cohen, Dr. Jerry Lesson, Norman Philip Nachum Pincus, Ethel Schnitt, Macon Dale Traxler, Adria Sachs, Rivka Swedler, David Zemont, Steve Weitzman, Ashler Lechlinder Stoll. And this Shabbat is the Yartzeit, the anniversary of death of Chester W. Ambler Jr., Eula Black, Herman Breitman, Louis Israel Breitman, Howard P. Cole, Harriet Crystal, David Seligman, Israel Dubois, Clifford Ewing, Rena Farber, Marshall Glickman, Louis Goldberg, Jack Goodman, Iva Gordon Tudor, Jack Harmon Harris, Carol Harris, Milton J., Bertie Johnson, Sigmund Kaufman, Lev Kletsky, Shirley Ruth Konigsberg, Marie Amber Coons, Leonid Iskovich Kiner, Max Lee, Caroline Leopold, Seema Lowenhar, Joseph Lowenhar, Simon Marin, Fanny Marin, Sigmund Marin, Lillian Starr Meese, Mary Purai, Dr. Bernard Ress, Namuel Roseman, Meyer Ruchman, Eleanor B. Schechter, David Seligman, Myrtle Shine, Don Sider, Harry Silberg, Arlington Smith, Masha Soloway, Barbara Strauss, Suzanne Wattenberg, Paul Waterman, Esther Rose Weinstein, Samuel N. Weinstein, Bessie Zacharia, Robert M. Zacher. And to these names we add. For all these names and the names we carry in our heart, the names of those who perished in the Shoah, the names of those who die in war, and the names of those who had no one to say Kaddish for them. Let us rise in solidarity to recite Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach erote ve'amlik malchute, b'chayachon uv'yomachon uv'chaye dekol bet Yisrael, bagala uv'izman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mavarach le'olam ulmei almaya, yitbarach v'ishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitnoram v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'yusharata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'elma v'imru, Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memory be for a blessing. You may be seated. And so I'm going to find something here. Hold on. That was the Donut Olam, and I don't have the page number. So let's do it. On page 625. 625. Let us sing of our eternal God, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa B'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nichra Ve'acharei Kiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Vehu Haya Vehu Hove Vehu Yeh Betifara Vehu Echad ve'en sheni lahamshil lo lahachbira beli reshit beli taklit velo haoz hamaizra vehu eli v'chai goali v'tzor chevli be'et sarav vehu nisi humanos li menat kosi beyom ekra beyado afkid ruchi be'et ishan ve'aira ve'im ruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira. This song ends with the words, Adonai is with me, I shall not fear. And as we prepare to conclude our Shabbat worship, I would like to offer all of us the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav alecha v'chunecha. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav alecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God turn toward you and grant you peace. Ken yihi ratzon. May this be God's will. And together we say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's gather together in the lobby for some Kiddush and